Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the academic procession and the Chancellor.
I declare that the 616th Convocation of McMaster University for the conferring of degrees is now in session.
Please be seated. Good afternoon and welcome. I am Dr. Susan Tai, and I'm privileged to serve as Provost and Vice President Academic at McMaster University. This afternoon, I also have the great pleasure of being your Master of Ceremonies and welcoming all of you, graduates and guests, to this convocation ceremony. On behalf of the university, I would like to recognize and acknowledge that we meet today on the traditional territories of the Mississauga and Haudenosaunee nations and within the lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. We must remember that we have a role in upholding the spirit of this agreement, which urged for peaceful sharing of Earth's resources. We must also not forget that merely acknowledging our presence on these traditional lands is only a small step towards our shared path to reconciliation. I challenge you to consider how you can foster reconciliation among the many peoples that inhabit these lands. I would like to start today's proceeding by acknowledging some of the notable leaders joining me on stage today. our Chancellor, Ms. Santee Smith, President and Vice Chancellor, Dr. David Farrar, Vice Provost Faculty, Dr. Kim Dye, Assistant Vice President of Communications, Marketing, and Public Affairs, Ms. Andrea Farquhar, Dean of Faculty of Social Science, Dr. Jeremiah Hurley, Associate Deans, Directors, Chairs, faculty members, and honored guests. Before we start our formal program, I would please like to ask you to make sure that your electronic devices are turned off at this moment in time so we don't have any unexpected phone calls during the ceremony. I would also like to take this moment now to call on Chancellor Ms. Santee Smith to deliver the Thanksgiving address and make her welcoming remarks.
Yahweh, thank you. Sego, Sewaguego, greetings everyone. It's great to see everyone here today. Watgwanuwalado, welcome. Honored guests, staff, family, friends, colleagues, faculty members, and most importantly, graduands. It's a very exciting day. And before we begin, I would like to say the words before all else, also known as the Thanksgiving Address in Gaingeha, the Mohawk language. Se wadahosios ne gat ne galewesa, ne ona, ne angaliho heste, ne ganawala donserla. These are words of thanksgiving that help to bring our minds and hearts together, to acknowledge, give thanks, affirm our interconnections and interdependence, cultivate compassion and kindness, and recognize our responsibilities for sustaining and maintaining this delicate balance and peace within all creation. It's also a time for us to think about those who are ill, hurting, or need these extra words of encouragement, that these words offer them peace and balance to their minds and hearts. Daitinu walaro ne ongwe su'a, eto nayonto hage ne niguat nigula. We give greetings and thank you to our ancestors, to the people, to our ancestors, our family, friends, to our future ancestors, to all nations. So be it in our minds. Daitinu walaro ne yetini stoha johonjade, eto nayonto hage ne niguat nigula. We give greetings and gratitude towards our Mother Earth, for she provides us with everything that we need to survive and to thrive. So be it in our minds. Daitinu walaro ne gane galunyo, eto nayonto hage ne naguat nigula. We give thanks and acknowledgement to the waters, from the oceans to the streams, to the waters flowing in our bodies. Water is life. So be it in our minds. Daitinu walaro ne gonjunk su'a, eto nayonto hage ne naguat nigula. We give greetings and gratitude to the fish who help to purify the waters and provide us with nourishment. So be it in our minds. Daitinu walaro ne yotunduni, eto nayonto hage ne naguat nigula. We give greetings to all of the plants, from the grasses to the medicines that help to purify and strengthen our bodies. So be it in our mind. Daitinu walaro ne ozit no wasu'a, eto nayonto hage ne naguat nigula. We give our greetings and gratitude to the insects who help to pollinate the plants. So be it in our minds. Daitinu walaro ne junghekwa, eto nayonto hage ne naguat nigula. We give our acknowledgement and our gratitude to our sustenance foods. So be it in our minds. Daitinu walaro ne wahyariota, eto nayonto hage ne naguat nigula. We give gratitude and acknowledgement to the fruit life who help to nourish our body. So be it in our minds. Daitinu walaro ne gundiryo, eto nayonto hage ne naguat nigula. We give acknowledgement and thank you to all of the animals, some who sacrifice their lives to help sustain us and who are our teachers. So be it in our minds. Daiti nuwalaro ne zito ongua, eto na yonto hage ne naguat nigula. We give greetings to the birds, whose beautiful singing help to uplift our spirits and bring peace and calm to our hearts. So be it in our minds. Daiti nuwalaro ne galunda ongua, eto na yonto hage ne naguat nigula. We give greetings and acknowledgement to all of the trees. We cannot live without the oxygen that they provide. Their roots and sap help to nourish and cleanse our body. So be it in our mind. Daiti nuwalaro ne zower la warnier, eto na yonto hage ne naguat nigula. We give greetings and gratitude to the circulating winds who travel the earth, bringing new breath and new life. So be it in our minds. Daiti nuwalaro ne lariuerlas, eto na yonto hage ne naguat nigula. We give acknowledgement to our grandfather thunderers for purifying the air and awakening the earth and awakening us. So be it in our minds. Datsi dawanuwalaro ne ang jongeni galakwa, eto na yonto hage ne naguat nigula. We give our greetings to eldest brother Sun, who appears consistently each morning to provide us with sunshine, protection, and sustenance for all living things. So be it in our minds. Daiti nuwalaro ne asatanega wat nirale, eto na yonto hage ne naguat nigula. We give thanks to our grandmother Moon for her powerful pull on our waters, connection to women and birth. So be it in our minds. Daiti nuwalaro ne yo jisto huarlunyo, eto na yonto hage ne naguat nigula. We give acknowledgement to the stars, the cosmos, for providing us with guidance and direction. So be it in our minds. Daiti nuwalaro ne dayunkiyaradom, eto na yonto hage ne naguat nigula. We give acknowledgement to our protectors and our spiritual guardians who provide clarity of mind and peace in our hearts. So be it in our minds. Datsi dawanuwalaro ne sungwayandiso, eto na yonto hage ne naguat nigula. We give thanks to creation, the great spirit, the creative energy that exists in everything, in everywhere, and in all of us. So be it in our minds. Da eto ni gawanage, da eto. Yahweh, for listening to those words of thanksgiving. And the very shortened address that I provided, I learned from Dehahande Miller. And it's really to offer us a way to unify our mind and our heart in humble acknowledgement of the immensity of the creative living universe, of which human beings are a very small part. It keeps us mindful and provides us with daily context for our interdependency and our responsibilities for upholding this delicate balance with care and gratitude. We are grateful to be here today, to be in this room with our family and our friends and colleagues, in acknowledgement and celebration of all of the graduates' achievements, especially through these challenging times. Let us honor the work that has been done. Congratulations, and please enjoy the ceremony. Yahweh.
Thank you, Chancellor Smith. I would now like to introduce the Dean of Social Sciences, Dr. Jeremiah Hurley, to make his own welcoming remarks, and then we'll present the honorary degree recipient.
Thank you, Dr. Tai. Graduates, families, friends, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you on behalf of the Faculty of Social Sciences to today's convocation ceremony. It's wonderful to be with you here in person today, and we're grateful for your presence. To the families of today's graduates, we know how proud you are of them and how important your support has been as they've pursued their studies. So congratulations to you. And to the graduates, let me emphasize how proud we are of you and all of your notable accomplishments. One of the most gratifying aspects of being an educator is to witness the transformation that takes place in students as they advance in their studies, gaining skills, confidence, and experience that will serve them as a foundation for lifelong learning. The Faculty of Social Sciences prides itself on providing an education with social purpose. These last 2 years have been a challenge, but we're confident that you have acquired the skills and critical abilities needed, both in your professional life and to make you the kind of engaged citizen that will foster a vibrant society dedicated to the well-being of all of our communities and to each other. So congratulations, graduates. And you're going to hear that word a lot today, both at this ceremony and throughout the day. But I hope you won't tire of it, but rather let it prompt you to reflect on and be proud of yourselves for all that you've achieved in these past few years. Thank you, and again, congratulations. Chancellor Smith, by the authority of the Senate of McMaster University, I have the honor to present Elva Rose Jameson. Elva Jameson, who is Cayuga Wolf Clan from 6 nations of the Grand River Territory, began her career as an apprentice of Indigenous medicine, working under her mother's guidance. This apprenticeship included learning plant medicines, healing methodologies, and Indigenous science specific to the Haudenosaunee people. Ms. Jameson was recognized as a traditional helper, often referred to as a healer in Western culture. And she learned the cycle of ceremonies, protocols, and songs which led to being stood up within their tradition as a faith keeper in the Cayuga Longhouse. In 2012, Ms. Jameson co-founded with McMaster alumna Karen Hill, Judah's Place, a clinic on Ohsweken and the 6 nations of the Grand River First Nation Reserve. The clinic provides collaborative care that incorporates traditional Indigenous healing alongside primary care, thus playing a critical role in dismantling the silos and apprehensions that often existed between traditional and Western approaches to healing. The practice also trains family medicine residents and apprentices of traditional medicine. In 2015, Ms. Jameson developed a 4-year traditional medicine apprenticeship training program, which was the first of its kind. She was also a co-investigator on a Canadian Institutes of Health Research grant to evaluate the collaborative practice at Judah's Place. But even earlier in 1993, Ms. Jameson played a key role in establishing Gawanio Language and Culture Immersion School, where she taught Cayuga language and culture and was vice principal until 2012. She also taught Anwe Nohe, meaning original people science, using land-based activities and hands-on experience with elements, plants, and animals. At McMaster, Ms. Jameson has been a guest lecturer in courses including Indigenous medicine, philosophy in the practice and introduction to Indigenous health. She was a member of the former President's Committee on Indigenous Issues. She mentored a number of family medicine residents in culturally safe care and was a core member of the Indigenous Knowledge Keepers Committee of the Indigenous Health Initiative. She also helped develop the Indigenous Health Education Strategic Plan. Ms. Jameson has made significant contributions to the Faculty of Health Sciences Indigenous Health Initiative and to the strategic planning process guiding the faculty's response to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada's calls to action. Ms. Jamieson serves in a unique role for the Haudenosaunee communities across Canada and the United States as the key knowledge keeper of traditional medicines, healing modalities, and cultural knowledge. She has held the traditional knowledge in her care for 4 decades and has dedicated her life to passing it on to the younger generations. To acknowledge these accomplishments and contributions, Chancellor Smith, I am pleased to present to you a healer, an educator, an activist, and a cornerstone in the calling to preserve, enrich, and share the Haudenosaunee culture. I ask that you confer upon Elva Rose Jamieson the degree Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
Alva Jamieson, by the authority of the McMaster University Senate, I have the great pleasure to confer upon you the degree Doctor of Science, honoris causa, in McMaster University, with all the rights and privileges pertaining to that degree. I would now like to invite Dr. Jamieson to deliver the convocation address.
It's less comfortable. We can turn it around if you'd like.
No, that's okay. I'll just put it under here. It's not choking me, okay. Madam Chancellor, President Ferrer, honored guests, graduates, family and friends, I just want to say, Scanos Wagwego, peace and wellness to everyone. I want to also say Nyamagowa to Madam Chancellor for delivering the opening address that helped me to calm myself down a bit to hear those words. So, Nyama for that. And also, I would also like to, oh, I'm nervous, to also acknowledge the land acknowledgements that happened, and also when they talked about the dish with one spoon. And when I thought about that, I thought about how at Six Nations, at Oswego, where I live, where I've come from, that we are still doing very well with that, sharing our little territory, what we have left. We are all there, the Mohawk and Oneida, the Onondaga, the Cayuga, and the Seneca, and along with the Tuscarora, but also we are descendants. There are descendants there of the Delaware people, the Tutelo people, the Wendat people, Seminole people, Lakota people, Cree people, Ojibwe people, and probably more. We are still doing a lot of their dances and a lot of their ceremonies in honor of them. Now, I guess I'd like to introduce myself in my own language. That means she carries flowers. I'm from Cayuga Nation. And I'm from the Wolf Clan. I'd like to acknowledge all the graduates. And it is a great honor to stand here in front of you, and it is very humbling. I took a look at the courses that are in the social sciences, and it's like these people worked hard to get where they are today. And I want to acknowledge that and acknowledge the hard work, what you've done. And like they were saying, you had a lot of support from your families. And in our Haudenosaunee way, when we've accomplished something, going through a lot of hardships, and but arriving where we set out to be, what they always say is, "Akwi de sa gezat," which means, "Akwi de sa gezat tehoda asadonza." Don't waste what you've earned for yourself. Use it to the best of your abilities. We're told when we came here from our Creator that we all bring a gift that we share with the people. And maybe this is your gift, what you're bringing forward to all people, the humanity. And maybe this is what's going to be your duty. What they say, sadrihondakne, naona ashontnanto. That's what that means. You already have this responsibility or this duty, what you're going to share, a gift with the people. And I think too, when I think of my path, having this award really made me think a lot about my life and talked with my children. And I have to acknowledge the power women behind me. Yes, I had males too. I had my father, my stepfather, that have helped me. You know, my children even along the way. But also I would like to acknowledge my mom, who been teaching me about medicines and about traditional ways since I was like 4 years old, maybe even younger. She taught me how to move energy, and I guess it was like I had skinned my knee, and she told me to rub my hands and blow in it, Creator's breath, and wipe it on my knee and throw it away. She taught me that when I was very young. And I acknowledge her for all the days, and probably that may have happened to you, where it was like, do I have to hear this one more time? Like it's people telling you. And then I must have had a look on my face. And she said, one day you're going to thank me. You're going to thank me for this. And there have been many days since my mom passed away that I said, Mom, today I thank you for that. And probably her and I probably never even dreamed that I would stand here in front of you. So again, acknowledging her. I had told my son, I said, you know, I feel as if I've been groomed for everything that I've done in my life to become a teacher. I started long time ago, and one of the teachers there, she said, go to school and become an educational assistant and give us our program credibility. So I went to school, I did that. When I got that, she says, keep going, become a teacher. She says, get your teacher certificate, give our program credibility. And that's our Gawanio immersion program for Mohawk and Cayuga language. So I did those things, and I went on, and I acknowledged her. Her name was Lati Ki, and she was a medicine friend of mine. And then we went on again, and this time I had a principal that was very caring to me and helped me a lot. And she's the one that wants me to be a principal. And you know, when I got to that place of being a principal, it was after she passed away. And I couldn't stay in that position because it goes to administration part. And that wasn't what was in here for me. I'd rather to be with the children and with the teachers. So I thought, I can't do that one. So that's when I made my decision to turn around and come back to traditional medicine. But in that time, I also went to school to become a social worker. And I went to school, and halfway through that program, I thought, you know something? I don't want to be a social worker. It's going to be too hard work. And then I heard about the burnout rate. I go, I can't afford to do that. So I'm not going to do it But you know, I finished that program at Loyalist College, and I had a 4.0 average. I was on a dean's list, and the University of Saskatchewan said, apply, and we'll accept you. But I was there, and I said, I can't do that. I have to go home. I have to go home. And that's what I ended up doing. You know, that program happened before I started teaching high school. But all the learning I had from that program helped me to be a high school teacher. To me, that was my greatest time, to watch children come when they're grade 9, they're children. When they leave, they're men and women. And so that was my best time, I think. So when I heard them talk, Dr. Hurley talk, how they see you coming when you first come and all the things what you learn, and now you're going to go out in the world with all the skills what you have and carry. And that's what I thought about that. I went through all that schooling, but I kept doing and I did my best. And it still helped me, even though I didn't go into that field. It still helped me as a high school teacher, but as a traditional medicine practitioner. It helped me a lot. It helps me still today. So I think about those things of everything what we learned to this point in our life. It's going to keep serving us. It'll keep serving us. It is not wasted. And if at some time you feel like you want to change and go into a different stream, that's okay. You know, here in Granada, we live in a fairly free country where we're able to change our mind and we're able to do what follow our heart. Be like the water, because you know the water finds its own level. Go with the flow sometimes. And so even my son had taken up something, but he wanted to change his vocation. And I says, do it. Do it. Do what you want to do. Make yourself happy. Because when I did my work, I enjoyed my work. No matter what I did, I enjoyed it. And to me, it was like when work became work, it wasn't any fun anymore. And I had to shift. And when I look at my life, like I said over this last month, I see the times when I've shifted and shifted again and shifted again and shifted again. Because I want to be happy. I want to be happy. But as long as you just keep going forward. Okay. I went way ahead of myself just talking. Okay, so I guess one of the things what I would like to say is that we all have a spirit, and our spirit will talk to us. We just need to listen. And it'll let you know when it's time to shift. And the one big thing that I had to learn is to be able to take care of myself. Because work, work, work. And once my children were all grown and on their own, had their own family, it's easy to fall into working in the evenings and the weekends, you know, and it's like, be mindful of yourself to find balance in your life between family and work, rest and fun, to rejuvenate yourself. That's important. That's something I had to learn the hard way. And you know, when you're at this side of it, many of you are probably very young yet, but it didn't take me long to get here. From your age to here, it seems only like a couple months ago, because it goes very fast. Enjoy the ride, because it's not the final destination that's important. Enjoy the ride. And I guess what really helped me when I think about it is my beliefs in our traditional way, in the ceremonies, in our principles, what we follow under the great law. That helped me to keep my focus. It helped me keep doing my gift, what I brought to the people, why I was born here, why I lived here, why I work here, where I find joy. And that's what I hope for you, is you're gonna start in your new life, in your new work, is that you find joy in what you do. And I wish you all of you, I would like to congratulate you where you are, and I would like to wish all of you a long, productive life, a happy life, because this is all we got. This is all we got, just only one life. We live it every day. So, and now it's good to know too, that, you know, I'm at the finishing stage now of my work career. My grandchildren been waiting for me for a long time. And that's where I'm going. I'm glad to see that you young ones are coming behind, not only here, but even at home. There's young ones coming behind me that carry these abilities, what we're supposed to help with our people for healing and health and well-being, and carrying those ceremonies. And that's when it's a graduation day for me, when one of my students can do what needs to be done. And I said this recently. I said, you know something? I trust my students with my life. And so, thinking about that, I'm trusting you people to go out there and use your gift and do very well with people, with humanity. And I want to say a couple things, is don't forget, de sadat no kwak. De sadat no kwak means to love yourself. We need to love ourselves so we can share what we need to. And one more thing that I would like to say that I used to say to the high school graduates, get out there and knock their socks off. Danito.
Congratulations, Dr. Jameson. I would now like to welcome Dr. David Farrar, President and Vice Chancellor of McMaster University, to the podium to present the graduates to our Chancellor for admission to their degrees.
Will the graduands please stand? This is the best part. They turn the lights up and you can actually see you out there. Madam Chancellor, on behalf of McMaster University Senate, I present to you these candidates and those in absentia in order that you may confer the appropriate degree upon them, and I bear witness that they are worthy and suitable.
Graduands, by my authority and that of the McMaster University Senate, I have the great pleasure to admit those of you before me today and those in absentia to their individual degrees at McMaster University with all the rights and privileges pertaining to those degrees. Congratulations to you all. Please be seated.
Graduates, I now invite you to join me on stage so that the Chancellor and I may welcome you to the McMaster community of scholars. I would be delighted to shake your hand or to bump fists or to touch elbows or to acknowledge your accomplishments without touching. Our Chancellor will acknowledge your accomplishments without touching. Congratulations to each and every one of you.
Honoured guests, so that each graduate's name may be heard, it would be appreciated if during the presentation of the graduates, you would hold your collective applause to the end of each degree category. Thank you. Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Lauren Creighton Avery. Sean Sheikh. Mohammed Ferdowsi. Rahim Samnani. Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Master of Arts. Amelia Bartz. Yan Lee. Elma Elizabeth Neenan. Adam Christopher Rivar. Ibrahim Saber. Ryan Mario Sikiric. Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Master of Public Policy. Justin Berube. Tayaba Chowdhury. Brianna Joy Marie Christopher. Sarah Das. Jacob Stewart Danto Clancy. Alicia Melanie Di Manuele. Maya Dutot. Bryce Jacob Edwards. Dana Musa El Khair. Angelo Mateo. Gloria Park. Govinda Singh Sidhu. Jasmeet Sidhu. Connie Yu. Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Bachelor of Arts Honours. Mahnur Amir. Ronahi Abdurrahman. Haris Hayan Abid. Fatima Abidi. Sitra Mohammed Ahmed. Faiza Ahmed. Afa Al-Hindwawi. Lauren Elizabeth Albano. Samar Amin. Serena Marie Anziano. Caitlin Elizabeth Argentino. Arian Aria. Cassandra Mirella Aroba Saros. Shanti Amba Atfield Ray. Marim Adel Awadala. Ayla Bahram. Emma Alison Baliat. Martin Grisha Barakov. Sofia Bechtar. Amaresh Baskaran. Maida Adnan Bati. Yi-In B. Taylor Ann Boss. Alicia Preya Bugram. Ushna Zahid Butt. Melanie Sabral. Clinton Chidera Kasmir. Clement Ka Ming Chung. Matthew Emery John Khmiel. Kristen Ashley Choi. Jessica Chu. Natalie Anna Clark. Francesca Mara Coppinger. Madison Teresa Miranda Cornwallis. Michael Vincent Costanzo. Justin Patrick de Jong. Marisa Carolyn Destro. Simran Dillon. Nicole Eve DiMaro. Victoria Grace DiTrapani. Marisa Leah Dillon. Lauren Alicia Drury. Amal Osman El Kordi. Adam Makur. Olivia Laurie Stanslick Elliott. Keely Evans. Yawen Fan. Claudia Cordero Fernandez. Catherine Ann Alida Ferris. Nathaniel Stedman Fleming. Sarah Nicole Francis. Sophia Telia Gambale. Jordan Ray Geertz. Kishia Geng. Marcus Antonio Gisondi. Sarvin Rosa Gorgin. Nicole Grace Graziano. Lindsay Lenora Grease. Hikmet Gula. Anna Hale. Sebastian Constantin Halkett. Rihanna Catherine Ham. Tanya Hamad. Samir Haki. Zaina Yasser Hassan. Hamza Kamel Hassanein. Chelsea Safia Hassim. Ranim Hawari. Cheryl Nikalia Hendricks. Rienne Celeste Hislop. Paul Alexandra Holoatenko. Rui Ho. Zaina Hauneni. Dylan Robert House. Ashley Sky Huang. Robert Alexander Latan. Katerina Ip. Oluwatobi Oluwaseun Ipoyeda. Gurinda Gari Karinth. Ragini Kaushal. Inara Kazia. Arden Sawyer Kell. David Thomas Kelly. Sandra Lynn Kene Fodo. Finley Thomas Kibby Dunn. Sylvia Kimler. Brianna Danielle King. Veronica Angeli Kaulesa. Denise Christina Labeda. Amelia Victoria Latour. Antoine Cadu Lawrence. Gregory Morgan Lee. James Lee. Jessica Wing Yu Leung. Sydney Alexandra Helen Lewis. Yilan Lee. Zongyang Lee. Diego Pele Lopez. Jonathan Matthew Loué. Isa Azim Mabanza. Chantal Salvacion Makabutas. Selena Giovanna Magierovsky. Mahia Manchanda. Ines Julia Martino Santo. Anthony Risotto Martins. Opnit Kar Marsalm. Alexander Matsadi. Hayley Lynn McComb. Luke Dante Menegazzo. Claire Ainsley Middle. Lana Marianne. Caitlin Ann Moffat. Kimberly Ariana Mohabir. Matthew Giuseppe Montero. Govinda Jeet Multani. Kababo Alphonse Mutenawi. Adam Salim Nas Nas. Roshni Nanda. Ryan Winston Naraman. Mila Kamienova Nikolova. Tianzi Norbert. Cassidy Ann Kopniak. Levi Joseph Ondrik. Corina Sarah Outram. Anthony Gabriel Palladino. Alexandria Erin Peacock. Dylan Pasod. Rajiv Pasod. Hayley Marie Pettis. Gillian Elizabeth Phillip. Natalie Michelle Popplestone. Angelique Ragnanauf. Simra Kaur Rakra. Aravind Christopher Ramohan. Shajuti Ravnyak. Felicia Razak. Tiota Rechitsa. Noor Risk. Lauren Victoria Rotz. Shihang Rui. Abir Sabz Ali. Tiamar Samison. Gurleen Sandhu. Anjali Sharma. Vivek Sharma. Harjot Kaur Shokar. Annabella Grace Simon. Trelise Ruth Simon. Ryan Singh. Parmida Soltani. Kiran Sugrim Maharaj. Ionoluwa Oluwapademi Soyemi. Gillian Joyce Speziali. Harveen Kaur San. Adrian Theodore Johns Stathaukas. Lana Sudar. Muskan Saliman. Daniel Jason Svoboda. Chara Takoni. Sain Yone Tan. Claire Christina Tanner. Elisa Raluca Tantaru. Cassandra Catherine Tassone. Mackenzie Lynn Taylor. Jasmine Tran. Roxanne Antoinette Vanderberg. Annette Norina Vine. Zachary Don Verhoshek. Tulsi Vias. Muhammad Moaz Wahid. Ting Yu Wang. Riyong Wu. Jingmei Yang. Yishi Yang. Aya Yunis. Atiri Kaylee Yuen. Alexandra Lorenzo Zapua. Shi Zhang. Jinghong Zhou. Madam Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Bachelor of Arts. Yu Heng Chen. Natalie Pietrina Sifani. Isaac Walsh Crawford. Ling Day. Harman Dhaliwal. Heba Esra. Vaishnavi Hastavaram. Shannon Hebb. Callie Grace Jackson. Baja Yama. Yalin Tatsuya Kato. Yaling Li. Zeming Li. Wei Lin. Eleanor Malham. Madeline Nolan Bjondich. Lucia Novakovic. Monica Park. Joshua Perez. Tristan Chibush. Amir Sadi. Afsha Siddiqui. Nicholas Raphael Spoto. Ayeza Tahir. Militia Tracy. Yuxing Zhou.
Okay, let's give one more round of applause for our graduates. All right. So I'd like to now introduce Ms. Harjat Shakur, a graduate of the Degree Honors Bachelor of Arts from Political Science program, who will be delivering the valedictorian address.
Good afternoon, distinguished faculty, Chancellor Santee Smith, President and Vice Chancellor Dr. David Farrar, Provost and Masters of Ceremonies Dr. Susan Teague, Dean of Social Sciences Dr. Jeremiah Hurley, Honorary Degree recipient Dr. Elva Jameson, family, friends, and of course, my fellow graduates. Congratulations, we finally made it. My name is Harjot Kaur Shoker, and I'm truly so honored to be here today representing our graduating class of 2022. It seems like just yesterday we walked into McMaster with butterflies, participating in Welcome Week, yet here we are today, ready for the next chapter of our life. Today is a chance to celebrate and reflect how our years of effort, dedication, and hard work have all finally come together in this monumental moment. I say this for not only the graduates, but for our instructors, faculty members, friends, and families as well. Thank you for your exceptional expertise, constant guidance, support, endless patience, and for loving us even when we were not so lovable. Your words of encouragement, belief, and unconditional love in us have meant everything. But most importantly, to my fellow graduates, my peers, thank you for your support and understanding throughout these 4 years. Growing up, I was told that you can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control the way you respond. As students at McMaster, I believe that we have responded in the best ways we could given the challenging circumstances. Unprecedented. I'm sure you have heard or seen this word countless times these past 2 years. Throughout my leadership and community roles at McMaster, I have seen this word in action many times. I've seen my peers step up and contribute in unprecedented, fundamental ways to our communities during the COVID-19 pandemic. As essential and frontline workers in grocery stores, warehouses, volunteers in healthcare settings, and community nonprofit organizations, we have seen the McMaster community come together. I've seen empathy in action as I worked alongside a group of students who volunteered their time to write letters and push for policy reform to support seniors who were left isolated in retirement homes during the multiple COVID outbreaks. And as a past community advisor, I've seen my fellow CAs use their creativity, music, and art as a way of escape during these tough times. While many of us have had the support of our loved ones close by to help us navigate these challenges, others have not. To our amazing international students, you have demonstrated an incredible ability to pursue your academic studies despite the distance between McMaster and your homes across the globe. To my peers who have lost their loved ones, but have had to continue to persevere to support their families and their dreams, your resilience is inspiring. For all of these reasons and many more, I can stand here today and say that across this room, I see students with passion, empathy, and a drive to succeed. I see a group of people that I'm proud to call the graduating class of 2022. Being here today is a way for each and every one of us to look back at our time at McMaster. For all the friends and memories we've made, it is a time to remember the moments of laughter as we walked through our beautiful campus and then had to sprint back to catch that last go bus. It is a time to reminisce on all the all-nighters spent studying at Thode or the late nights spent out with friends. That aside, it is the relationships we have fostered and the growth we have developed during our own personal journeys at MAC that we will continue to cherish for many years. Like many graduates here today, my personal journey was shaped by coming from a first-generation immigrant family. My motivation to succeed has been rooted in the immigrant story of my family. I'm the proud daughter of 2 parents who left their homes in Punjab and worked tirelessly to provide for their family here in Canada. This is the story of so many individuals here today and those that I have met during my time at MAC. Although our individual stories may differ, there's also great similarities. Some of our families traveled thousands of miles away from their homelands in hopes that their children will have a better future. With this hope comes a tremendous responsibility, as the pressure to succeed for our loved ones can feel overwhelming at times. As we are sitting here today, I would like to say how inspired I am of each and every one of you for continuing to persevere despite your own doubts and struggles. On a personal note, I want to particularly thank my family. Thank you for your support, your sacrifices, for always wiping off my tears, and if you know me, that's a lot of tears, the challenges and pain you never let me know of, and for encouraging me that regardless of the fact that I'm an individual diagnosed with epilepsy, I can and I will succeed. Lastly, thank you to my family that despite a backward mentality in some cultures that daughters are perceived to be some sort of a burden, my family has shown the way by taking a stand against gender inequity in our community. My sisters and I have always felt like a blessing, as well as loved, supported, and empowered to make our own choices. I am proud to be a graduate from the Faculty of Social Sciences. Through our respective programs, we have gained insight into many different dimensions of the world, about human relationships and social interactions, about religions, cultures, economies, and political systems. Sometimes what we learned made us feel uncomfortable, as we were challenged to ask thought-provoking questions, and at times ended up in very long, intense debates. If you've taken a political science course, I know you can resonate with that last point. However, these experiences helped us grow not only as students, but as mindful individuals and engaged global citizens. I would like to take this moment to share with you all a few words that are very important to me. In Sikhi, there's a phrase that all Sikhs say at the end of a prayer called Ardas. Nanak naam chardi kala tere pane sarbat pala. The essence of this message is to ask for the well-being of all humanity, prosperity for everyone in the worldwide community, and global peace for the entire planet. This has always been a reminder to me that it is important that my actions uplift and champion others. As you look to pursue this next chapter of your lives, I encourage you to consider how your path forward can play a role in helping your community and those around you. I encourage you to ask yourself, how will I continue to show up for others in the face of adversity? To conclude, my fellow graduates, the road to get here was not as smooth as we probably hoped it would be. In fact, for many of us, it was a path filled with many obstacles and failures. As we continue our journey outside of McMaster, we now realize that with failure comes growth. So do not be indifferent to your failure. Do not fear failure, but rather fear not trying. As the individual who falls and gets up is stronger than the one who has never tried. Despite the challenges we will face, let us define success on our own terms. My fellow graduates, join me in marking our final steps in our McMaster journey and for all the wonderful journeys yet to come. From the bottom of my heart, I wish you all the very best. To the Social Sciences graduating class of 2022, we made it. Thank you.
Thank you, Harjit. May I call upon Dr. Jeremiah Hurley, Dean of Social Science, who will present the Governor General's Academic Medal.
The Governor General's Academic Medal is one of the most prestigious awards a student in Canada can receive. Established in 1873, this honor recognizes exceptional academic achievement at the high school, collegiate, undergraduate, and graduate levels. Each year, McMaster awards just 3 Governor General's Silver Medals to the students at the university who have achieved the highest academic standing at the undergraduate level. Earning this accolade not only places this year's recipients among the top students to graduate from McMaster, it places them among the top students in all of Canada. On behalf of Her Excellency, the Right Honorable Mary Simon, it gives me great pride to present the Governor General's Academic Silver Medal to Zachary Verhosek. Madam Chancellor, I ask that you and all those present join me to express recognition of his achievement. Zachary?
Congratulations, Zachary. May I now introduce Ms. Anne-Marie Middle, a graduate from the Bachelor of Arts class of 1990 and a representative of the McMaster Alumni Association, who will now deliver the Alumni Association address.
Chancellor Smith, President Farrar, award winners, honorees, faculty, fellow alumni, guests, and the outstanding members of the class of 2022. good afternoon. It is an honor to be with you today. I join you as a social sciences alumni as well, and as a member of the alumni engagement team here at McMaster. On behalf of the Alumni Association, I bring you sincere congratulations and a warm welcome to the Alumni Association. In my role, I've had the pleasure of attending many convocations. It always has a special energy, full of optimism, pride, and excitement. Today, I feel that most keenly. Amongst our new graduates this afternoon, my own daughter, Claire, is one of the proud graduates, and I'm feeling especially proud of her today. Way to go, kiddo. I can't see you, but I know you're out there. I'm sure all of the parents and supporters here today are feeling that same pride for their graduates, and I can congratulate the parents as well. So for me, my connection to McMaster has been unbroken for the better part of a few decades, and it has been personally very rewarding. I can tell you that your McMaster life, graduates, does not end when you leave here today. A few years or a few decades from now, your memories of McMaster may be dominated by friendships, by extracurricular activities, or perhaps learning experiences that sent you on a particular path. For this class specifically, the pandemic may play a central role in your memories, or it may become a footnote. Regardless, there's a fairly good chance that significant parts of your time as a Mac student will become what we often call the good old days. All the philosophers have written about the good old days, including giants like Dolly Parton, Ziggy Marley, Usher, Weird Al Yankovic, and probably the greatest philosopher of all of them, Rick Astley. But on this topic, I prefer the wisdom of Andy Bernard of the Dunder Mifflin Paper Company, who said, "I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them." Regardless of the specific Mac memories that stick with you, regardless of how your student experience influences your life, I hope McMaster stays with you as part of your good old days, while at the same time playing a role in your good new days as well. Our job at the Alumni Association is to give you a variety of ways to link your present to the best parts of your McMaster past. As new grads, you are members of MAC 10, which supports alumni in the first 10 years after graduation. Whether you're looking for assistance, getting that first job, or help navigating the next steps in your career, the Alumni Association offers resources, events, programs, and even alumni career counselors to assist. And even if your path takes you away from Hamilton, whether that's in Canadian centers from Victoria to Halifax or cities around the world, let us know where you are and what you're up to. We'll do our best to reach out when we're hosting events or when we have opportunities to connect you to fellow alumni or prospective students. Be sure to visit alumni.mcmaster.ca to update your profile, visit us on social, and see all that you can participate in, whether live or online, including events, mentoring, networking opportunities, webinars, socials, volunteering, and so much more. Wear your new McMaster alumni pin with pride and enjoy finding other Mac grads wherever you go. When you leave Convocation, I know my little speech will not be your most powerful memory today, but hopefully some echo of it will linger in the back of your mind where it will be ready when you want to connect with your university again. And when that day comes, whether it's a few weeks from now or a few decades from now, we'll still be here. So members of the McMaster class of 2022, congratulations on your convocation. We are proud to welcome you to the McMaster Alumni Association family, and we can't wait to see what you're going to do next. Go, Mac, go.
Thank you, Anne Marie. May I invite our President and Vice Chancellor, Dr. David Farrar, back to the podium to deliver the President's address.
Madam Chancellor, my notes actually say Chancellor Smith, and that was a throwback to another day. Chancellor Smith, distinguished guests, award winners, faculty, members of the McMaster community, members of the McMaster graduating class of 2022, friends and family. It's really good to see you here in person and not a small square on a small screen. For more than 2 years, we've had an unwelcome guest in our lives, a global pandemic that has reminded us of how fragile our lives really are and how much we need to be together. Members of the graduating class, for more than 2 years, you have worked through the isolation, disruption, and possibly health challenges and personal losses created by COVID-19. In spite of the formidable conditions for completing your degree, you persisted. So congratulations to each and every one of you on your ability to adapt, thrive, and succeed. As you graduate from McMaster today, you have the opportunity to choose a vision for your future and a vision for our planet. The question is, which one of those visions will you choose? Which choice? Which freedom? Undoubtedly, the last 2 years have given you the opportunity to reflect on what really matters to you and what your next steps might be. Today, we find ourselves facing not only a global pandemic, but an alarming decline in the strength of our democratic institutions, the acceleration of the negative impacts of climate change, an increasing gap in wealth between classes, and the possibility of a widening war in Eastern Europe. The challenges seem so great, sometimes we can be overwhelmed by a feeling of powerlessness. What can we do as individuals to take on significant questions? How can we make a difference? Let me offer 2 small examples. 50 years ago, a young social worker from Philadelphia, concerned about hunger and food insecurity that she was seeing in the low-income neighborhoods where she was working, published a small paperback book called Diet for a Small Planet. This is one of the original copies from 50 years ago. I was an undergraduate student at the time. Frances Moore Lepay's argument was that universal access to a healthy, sustainable diet would provide a global springboard for a better environment, more functional democracies, stronger economies, increased social justice. Moore Lepay was not a vegetarian, but it seemed obvious to her that growing plants for consumption was far more cost-effective and eco-conscious than raising animals for food. The book reflected her deep concern for our small, highly interconnected planet, that we were failing in our responsibility to meet the fundamental needs of people who have enough healthy food. The connection between healthy food and strong democracies may seem obvious today, but at the time of Diet for a Small Planet, it was considered radical and dangerous. Moore Lepay's ideas and arguments were attacked by large food processing companies, by agribusinesses, and by the meat industry. At the same time, her vision was influencing a new generation of farmers, cooks, and restaurateurs. The farm-to-table movement, community-supported agriculture, more sustainable farming, and organic farming can all be traced back to the revolutionary vision contained in this small paperback book. It sold millions of copies and was recently reissued in a 50th anniversary edition. It was a vision of hope and possibility, and it called for the courage to act individually and together. Let me give you one more very small example. A few years ago, Canada's largest bakery created a sustainability team to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and divert waste from landfills. One of the company's suppliers raised the question of that small plastic bread tag. It's so small that most people don't even think about it. But the company knew if you laid these small red plastic tags side by side, in 1 year they would go from Vancouver to St. John's, Newfoundland, and back. That's a lot of single-use plastic. Replacing it actually took a considerable amount of trial and error. They couldn't compromise the quality of the packaging or they'd just create more food waste. Eventually, they came up with a bread tag that was made from 100% recyclable cardboard, and it itself was recyclable and compostable. And this month, they have a fully functioning new cardboard tag on every bread bag that you'll buy. So 2 small examples where you can make a huge difference. So what will you do with your McMaster degree? Maybe your passion will be to address global warming, or maybe inequality, or social justice, or medicine, or health, or technology. But given the pace of change, it may be something that we have not yet even imagined. So how do you prepare for that? You look back over your years at McMaster, and I hope you'll see the answer. You prepare by being curious, by being resilient, collaborative, ambitious, and determined. By challenging assumptions and focusing on facts, and by making courageous choices. I encourage you, as you celebrate this milestone, to take some time to think about your contribution to a better, brighter world. Whatever your area of study, your McMaster degree has equipped you with the tools to solve critical problems and to make a significant impact on community. I'm confident you'll take the experience and the insight from living through this pandemic and find ways to create a world worth having. And finally, when you receive your diploma, you'll note there's only one name on it, yours. But I suspect many people have helped you get to this graduation. So I hope you'll take the time to thank all of those people in your life who have helped you get there. The end of your studies and the granting of your degree may feel like you're crossing a finish line, but you're actually just beginning. I wish you the very best on your journey. Welcome to the worldwide community of McMaster alumni.
Thank you, Dr. Farrar. May I invite our Chancellor, Ms. Santi Smith, back to the podium to deliver her closing remarks.
Yahweh, thank you, Provost Tai. I only have one thing to say. Class of 2022, let's go! Yeah! Actually, I have one more thing to say. Yoyanale. Yoyanale translates from Gaingeha to mean something like good job or well done. So Yoyanale, and let's say that together. Yo, yan, le. All together. Yoyanale. Louder. Yoyanale. Awesome. Congratulations once again. And I'd like to say Yoyanale to Harjot and Zachary. Congratulations on all of your achievements. Also to the eloquent alumni address. Yes, I am a McMaster alumna, and I do have, like you, today, you're gonna look back in the good old days, that's for sure, and also the good new days. So you could be standing here as well in a little while. So, or back to McMaster to have continued research, relationships, collaborations, and to be a part of that wonderful McMaster alumni family. President Dr. Farrar, thank you for your words. You gave us a lot to think about, really important opportunities that we have moving forward and changing the world and committing to our purpose. As Dr. Jameson mentioned, We all have a purpose, and especially important to share that. Once we know what it is, to share that for the betterment of all people. Best wishes to you all. In closing, following the ceremony, I encourage all graduates and guests to make their way up to the mezzanine level, where a number of photo opportunities have been set up in and outside the Great Hall. I would now ask that you please remain standing at your seats until the academic procession and the graduates have left the hall. Please join in the singing of our national anthem. After the anthem, this convocation stands adjourned.